There is a place, not here or there, but somewhere in between. There is a space in the thin air that really can't be seen. If you listen and observe, you may be surprised. Some may call it Camelot or even paradise. Some may say you cross a bridge, others through a door. But all I know about this place is that I call it Evermore. Evermore.
Good evening, sweet spirits. Welcome to the show. My name is Suzanne Sorrell, and I'm the host of the Evermore Paranormal Network. On this episode, we have the junior investigator from Evermore Paranormal, Gabe Chase. So please welcome Gabe to the show. Hi, Gabe.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Oh, fine. So let's just get some general background information about you before we jump into the ghost hunting topic.
Okay.
So, Gabe, where were you born and raised? Where'd you grow up?
I was born and raised in mostly the Fairfax County, Herndon area in Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're awful young. How old are you? And where do you go to school?
Yes, ma'am. I'm 16 years old, and I go to Osborne High School.
Okay. Where's Osborne at?
Manassas, Virginia.
Okay. And what grade are you in?
I'm 11th grade.
11th grade. And so when you're not in class, what do you do after school, school-related activities?
I'm a band geek, so I go to marching band. I play in the band program. It's a lot of fun. I also am a black belt in martial arts, so I do martial arts type things after school also.
Oh, wow. So you're in the band. What do you play?
Tuba and percussion is my second instrument.
Oh, wow. And I didn't know you were a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
You're a black belt
Yes,
already?
ma'am.
How long have you been doing that? The martial arts?
I've been doing it all my life, but at this particular school that I go to, it took me about 4 years.
Okay, so we have built-in protection then, right, for the team?
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So you can karate chop some
just
ghosts if we ever need
ghosts,
it, right? So I take it you are single, since you're so young, obviously.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, single and dating or whatever, right? Well, not looking right now?
No, not right now.
Okay. And you have some pets?
Yes, ma'am. I have 2 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's dog is Zoe, and then I have my dog. His name is Blake.
Let's see. So do you have a job yet, a paid job anywhere?
No, ma'am.
No? And I know that you're already thinking about college and your career. Can you tell me what that, or tell the audience what that entails? What do you want to be? What school do you want to go to?
I want to get a degree in forensic science, and I also want to get another degree in business management. And since I can't go into the service, the military, I want to be a sniper for SWAT team instead. So I want to really work for getting my degrees in things that work towards going to that goal.
Right, exactly. Well, you know, I have a degree in a master's in forensic science, so I can relate with you on that. And you want to be a sniper for what, a police department?
Yes, ma'am.
Some kind of law enforcement agency?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not going to go into the military now?
No.
Okay. And other than ghost hunting and all the other activities that you do, what kind of hobbies do you have? Anything else that you haven't mentioned?
I'm a big metalhead, so I listen to a lot of, death metal music, heavy metal, and then sometimes I'll listen to like some 80s hair metal bands, stuff like that, and I'll play my bass to it. So mostly music is my main hobby. Yeah.
Wow, yes. Okay, Gabe, well, we got some info about you now, and now we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back shortly to talk about ghost hunting.
Stevenson here once again from the Paranormal and Research Center. As you see, we're back up in the children's room here at Redwood, trying to do another session and collect some more evidence. As you've probably seen on our website, we have a lot of different projects going. If you are interested in any of them, please contact us. Alrighty? Just remember, we function to help everyone. We're not a group just for our own evidence gathering. We gather evidence and help for everyone. We research all different kinds of circumstances, situations. Several of them are listed on our website right now. Please take your time, take a look, and have a great day.
Welcome back. We're talking to Gabe Chase, a paranormal investigator with Evermore Paranormal. And we've been talking about a little bit about his background. I don't know how he has time to ghost hunt as well, but that's what we're going to talk about now, which I know is a passion of his. So, Gabe, obviously you're on the Evermore Paranormal team. How long have you been on the team?
It's been 6 years.
6 years. And what is your role and your duties when you go out to investigate?
Just a junior investigator on the team, and also the assistant equipment, person. So I help around, set up the cameras, do, review and stuff like that. Just look over the cameras mostly, stuff like that.
So, how did you get involved with Evermore Paranormal?
Well,
I know that's a funny story, so
yeah.
Tell me about it. Tell our viewers about that.
So previously, I always wanted to be on a team because I grew up in the paranormal. It was a constant for me. So I was looking to join a team who I could share that passion with, and I finally found it with this team. And I remember I was driving with my aunt, and we were just driving, and I look at a sign and it says Evermore Paranormal on it, and I was like, whoa,
Was that the
team.
store? The storefront?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, and I got excited, so went online, looked up everything, and found your email and sent you an email. And I spent a few weeks like, oh, when is she gonna send me that email? And I'm getting aggravated, and I'm like, I want to do something. And so I remember I was with my aunt and my friends, and I saw you and Jim over sitting in a booth, and I was like, she looks like that lady from Evermore Paranormal. So
yeah, we had just come back from an event, so we were wearing our Evermore Paranormal t-shirts.
Yeah.
So.
And so I remember just looking at you, and I was like, you haven't answered my email, and I really want to, join a team and whatnot and get some experience and, go into the paranormal field with that passion I have. And so I remember I went to the teen ghost hunt at the rec center on Halloween. And then from then on, I've pretty much been a team member, yeah.
Right, yeah. We took you on. We weren't going to take any kids at the time. I mean, you had to be 18 or older to be on the team, but you were what, 11?
Yeah, probably
10, 11 years old. But you showed, such passion for the field already, and just smart and ahead of your time. You were already 18 mentally, maybe not physically.
Yeah.
So we now 6 years later, we still call you a junior investigator. When you turn 18, we'll make you a full investigator.
Yeah.
You definitely already are, but until you're 18, we're going to keep you as a junior investigator.
Sounds good.
But so Gabe, are you? And I know this people would think maybe this is a question. Why do you ask this question? But I always ask everybody: are you a believer or a skeptic, and why?
I'm definitely a believer. I always grew up coming from a different religious aspect than, Christianity. So, coming from a pagan background, it's very focused on the afterlife.
Right.
So, a lot of the time it was, me and my mom and my sister, figuring out things of the afterlife. Is there life after death? And without a doubt, I believe there certainly is.
So do I.
So I mean, through just years of different paranormal experiences and seeing things with my own eyes and experiencing things myself, I certainly believe that there's definitely a life after death.
Great. I mean, you know, I'm a believer, you're a believer, and some people go into ghost hunting that are skeptics, you would think.
Yeah.
You know, why are they even looking? But they want to debunk everything. They want to find answers too. But I'm glad you're a believer. You know, I know you weren't a while back.
Yeah,
You were kind of on the fence.
On the fence, yeah.
But now you've actually say, I'm a believer.
Yes, definitely.
So what is your favorite thing about ghost hunting and or the paranormal field? What do you like about it?
I would say the thrill of everything. You know, you never know what to expect when you walk in and on an investigation. And if, you know, somebody says, oh, well, you know, this could happen and something totally opposite can happen, or something like instantaneous almost happens. Like, you just don't know what could happen. It could
Well, you never know. Like, something's going to touch you. You don't know what's going to happen.
No.
You hope it's not too dangerous. You know, I hope at least. So, Gabe, what was your first paranormal experience? About how old were you, and where did it happen? Tell me the story.
I would say my first paranormal experience was when I was about 5 years old, and I was living in Herndon, and at the time it was just an apartment that I was living in, and so we had some things go around the house. It wasn't anything like extreme. It was just stuff would, you know, knock off a counter. You would hear noises in the other room. Nothing too horrible.
This was in Herndon area?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. And so one day, I have not a reason, I don't have no clue why. I was in my closet, and I think I was cleaning it or something.
How old were you again?
About 5.
About 5, okay.
Yeah, so I was cleaning up my toys that I had around there, and I closed the door, and there was a lamp that was in there. So for some odd reason, the lamp goes totally out, and I remember looking up, and I see like this black shadow figure, but it had eyes, like the whites of the eyes were showing. And so, and it looked like it was almost like hanging from one of the hangers. So it was like stuck in there pretty much.
Yikes.
And from what the story that I got from my mom is, she told me apparently it's a fuzzy memory, but I got like the name and like a whole story about like Civil War era type things that I had no idea about. So
something to do with that from what you saw? So let's see, that was in Herndon, you were about 5. And my next question is, I mean, I would think that was scary, but do you have even more scary paranormal experience?
Yeah, I've had a few more intense things that have happened.
Yeah, tell me what you would classify, other than that story, the scariest, you know, paranormal experience that you've had so far in your young years.
So far.
I mean, you've told me some. Your scariest. How about when you were in the cemetery and the thing you saw? That scares me when you tell me.
Yeah. So me and my buddies go into the cemetery sometimes, and I was carrying my Ovilus 4, and I had a K2 meter with me, and I had basically almost all my stuff with me. And so we're going into the cemetery, and we don't know much about it except that it houses it has like Confederate soldiers buried in it. It has Civil War soldiers, and it has a Civil War monument in it.
Right.
And so we're going through there, and all of a sudden on the Ovilus 4 it says the letters M and L. So we don't know what to think about this, but you know, we're kind of just like, okay, you know, it could be just something random. Then it says angel and wings, and there's one grave or tombstone there that has an angel, and it has a bunch of little other angels surrounding it. And so
I want to get over.
Yeah.
You know, find out. I don't want to know on camera where that's at. We want to keep that, you know, quiet.
Yeah.
But I do want to get over there sometime and check that out.
Yeah.
So tell me more. You said that there's a big angel, and then there's some other angels, and is this the time? Okay, you were talking about the Ovilus speaking.
Yeah, so it just continually keeps, you know, saying really random things that don't really make sense. So me and my friend decide, okay, well, we're gonna go check out this angel gravestone over there. So we're slowly walking, and as we're walking, it says devil and Satan. And so we're kind of just like, uh-oh. But, you know, we still just caution, you know, we just slowly walk over towards the angel. And what's even more crazy is that the angel was between markers M and L.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it was a little odd. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of your scariest moments, and then obviously the
activity actually got more darker as we kept going over there, which is why we don't go there anymore, because it was actually manipulating my millimeter to read 66.6. So after that, we just haven't gone back.
I can understand.
Yeah.
So we have just a few seconds left. I just wanted to ask you, have you ever thought about quitting the paranormal field and stop ghost hunting?
Never. It's never ever crossed my mind at all. I'm always in it for the thrill. It's always fun, and something new happens almost every time.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gabe. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back to talk about Gabe's visit to Rolling Hills Asylum. Welcome back. We're talking with Gabe Chase of Evermore Paranormal, and we're going to talk to him about his visit to Rolling Hills Asylum. So, Gabe, where is Rolling Hills Asylum?
It's right near Bethany, New York. It's in Genesee County.
Because you got some family up that way, right? You were
Yeah,
visiting
in
up
the
that
Buffalo area. Yeah.
So, when did you go, and why were you going up that way?
I went to spring break last year, and everyone in my family is also into the paranormal, so they have a lot of places over in Buffalo, in the New York area. So Rolling Hills Asylum was, you know, right there in Bethany, which is only about an hour drive away from there. So me and my mom and my cousin just thought it would be, you know, really cool and awesome to go explore such a really cool place with a lot of history and, you know, a lot of different kinds of activity.
So you went with your mom, and your cousin went too?
Yes, ma'am.
And he like the younger one? Is he one that I met?
No, he's older. He lives up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, you went to Rolling Hills Asylum. What is Rolling Hills Asylum, or what was it? I mean, it closed, I know,
Yes,
a
ma'am.
while back.
So originally, Rolling Hills was a place for, you know, the mentally disabled to go, but eventually they moved up to people such as like criminals. They actually had a building extended from it to house criminals, and you know, it went anything from about criminals to children or the elderly who couldn't take care for themselves.
So it was just like people just throwing in, just a melting pot of all different people that had disabilities or couldn't take care of themselves, and it just, here you go, drop them off, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yes, ma'am.
So when you got there, I've been meaning to get there, but it is a kind of a drive.
Yeah.
And I actually was supposed to go there a few times and didn't get there. What is the property? Is it like a huge, you know, a lot of land, a bunch of buildings, or is it just one big building? What does it look like when you get there?
Well, when you first get there, it's actually right next to a there's basically, the building is here, and then there's a 4-way road that goes. So it's like at the base of an intersection pretty much. And it's all land pretty much. It's all farmland. There's not that many houses around there.
Yeah, so when you got on the property, and I know that I know you have some abilities, like psychic abilities.
Yeah.
So when you get on a property like that,
Yeah.
how did it make you feel? Was it making it hard for you to breathe? Did it feel heavy? What kind of feeling did it cause physically to you?
Yeah. It was a very, I wouldn't say a claustrophobic feeling, but you can definitely tell that there was a lot of people there. And the feeling it wasn't overwhelming, but you can definitely have this, sense of a sadness or a worry, kind of.
Yeah. Did you feel like people were watching you too?
Yeah.
Did you get that sense that there were people around you watching?
Almost everywhere, yeah.
So what kind of paranormal claims, what kind of things have people claimed to have happened? Do you know any of is there a particular ghost that people see?
Yeah, there's multiple that are there.
Do you know any of the ghosts or any of their names or anything like that?
There's Nurse Emma, who was basically the head nurse of the asylum. And her room where she slept in is upstairs in the attic in that area. And so that's one of the more famous spirits that are there. The story is that she came over from Germany, and from there went to Rolling Hills and was a nurse there. Another spirit that's there that's heard a lot is the spirit of Jack, who was the owner of the place for one time. And he's known to make a lot of noise and show himself. And they have the shadow hallway, what they call the shadow hallway there, where it is where all the elderly people were. And from when I was there, the gentleman who was leading us was saying they see a lot of shadows, and they said one night they were just sitting there in that hallway and they just saw a line of shadows going into the infirmary, which is on the opposite side of the hallway. And so that's basically, it's mostly shadows down there, but they say that you can hear him yell at the opposite end, which I experienced myself. It's one of the things I experienced. And
well, yeah, I was going to get to my next question is, because we just got a few minutes, I want to hear some of the things that happened to you and your mom, if you have time, to tell me the stories, the highlights of when you got there, what happened to you, what were the experiences?
Well, they told us when we got there, is nobody ever leaves that building without having an experience. So I was kind of skeptical, but nobody ever leaves, in my opinion, without getting something.
Even your mom?
Even my mom was kind of scratching her head. Yeah. So we were going into the shadow hallway, and the owner of the property at this time was leading us up to the shadow hallway, and probably about not even a full 5 seconds of walking in there, you hear an older man yelling at the end of the hallway, and you couldn't make out what he was saying, but he sounded angry.
A spirit?
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't sound too happy.
And you still went forward, right?
Yeah. And so nothing much really happened in that hallway besides the yell and a few EMF spikes, but that was really about it. And the funniest experience that I had there was they had me sit there and listen to their EVPs and just look through everything. And what happened is, in the hallway that leads to the morgue, but on the opposite end, they were asking questions. And so one of the ladies that was there goes, "Were you married when you die?" And very faintly you hear, it sounded to me like, "I think so." So I kind of thought that was funny.
Yeah, that is funny. Didn't know, but...
Yeah. And the visual thing that I experienced was, because we had extra time, so the people that were there were like, "Okay, go explore, do whatever, ghost hunt for a few minutes." So me and my cousin go up there, and my mom's behind us, and it's in the shadow hallway. And as soon as we turn around, we see a shadow walk behind the double doors right across. And that's one of the things that they report there, is they see the spirit of Jack and that shadow form pacing behind those double doors.
Was that the experience is that the one your mom saw, or did she see another shadow? She was in the church or something, turned around, thought she saw somebody praying or
Well,
something?
that was
I
a
don't know.
that was a different asylum.
Oh, it was a different one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a more local.
So did these experiences leave an impact on you, Gabe?
Definitely. Yeah, it made me rethink everything with a place that had, you know, a lot of history and pain and all these things, like really bad things that were going on around there. It especially, you know, affected me to be able to experience that and, you know, see everything that I did. So it definitely shows that anything that happens there that was bad or negative definitely left an imprint on the building itself and on the property. So, I mean, it definitely proved to me that, you know, even the littlest things can have a big impact spiritually on past things.
Right, right. So you're more aware of what you do now because you know 100 years from now,
Yeah,
you know,
everything
that
could change.
You're leaving that imprint here.
Yeah.
So I guess I should ask you, would you go back to Rolling Hills Asylum?
I definitely would.
Right.
It was a really good experience, and I definitely enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I enjoyed having you today,
Yeah,
Gabe.
thank you for
you
having
so
me.
much for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And so thank you for watching the Evermore Paranormal Network. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, peace out.
So in the end, what have I said?